Manchester United scoring 4 goals. Yep, I could get used to that. I wanted Ruben Amorim's team to build on what we saw against West Ham, and they absolutely did that against Bournemouth. Let me run through what we learned at watching United's 4-1 win, including discussions about Dorgu Ahmad, high intensity again, and Amram's call for more patient United when it comes to build-up play. So, let's be honest, the preseason so far, it's been enjoyable. 4-1 against Bournemouth, I enjoyed it, even if it was at whatever time it was in the morning. Now, I've given my match reaction, as always. Let's do what well earned. From that game, I'm going to take 5 key points. I'm going to speak about a few things. You can let me know what you think in the comments. What would you say is the biggest thing that we'll learn from that game against Bournemouth? Let's run through it. Alright, number 1 on my list, which is supposed abundantly obvious. And I touched on this in my match reaction. You're really seeing the work that Amorim is putting into this team with these players paying off. And in this game, which is different to the West Ham game, it didn't just exist in the first 65 minutes. It existed when the team changed as well. But for the first 65 minutes, United had the exact same sort of intensity levels in and out of possession. Tracking back, Bournemouth couldn't get a foot on the ball, and they had no time to play it around. Bournemouth couldn't play football because we stopped them doing it. We did it against West Ham, and Averian was like, well, it's West Ham, they're crap. Bournemouth are a significantly better team. We did the same thing again. But in the second half, 70th minute-ish, 9 changes, Westwood straight after that, looked much bitter. There was a big old drop-off in the first game. Now, this is after the game saying, look, we looked a different team today. I would disagree in that sense, because he thought we basically continue what we saw against West Ham, but the intensity is completely different. That's down to fitness, and that's down to understand Amorim's system. We've seen both of those being improved in pre-season, and Dorgu definitely litters the spotlight after that game. Dorgu last season came in was good, got the red card, had some mixed performances, but I just kind of think that Torque is basically building on what saw last season. Ruben M speak the game here saying, look, he's powerful, he's getting his technique right, great cross for Hayden's goal, good driving run, good passing mount as well by the way for his goal. Goal and assist from wing-back tick. Wing-backs will be wingers this season. If Ruben Amorim's team is as confident as they are looking so far in pre-season, this is what he said after the game as well. He said, look, feels like everyone's understanding Ruben's ideas more. And is seeing that. Ruben tick Doru. Tick liking what I'm seeing so far in pre-season. And I'll tell you what, fair plays to Rasmus Holland. I think Holland last game could have scored in the first 30 seconds. Great driving ran, and today got the goal, although it's like a glancing header, but just hands overall play has been good. Namram's happy with what he's seeing from Horn, and as long as he's scoring goals doesn't really matter. In terms of Sesko though, this is where I think personally that this has effectively just been fighting Manchester United, because it's showing Leipzig the quality Thatland has. I very much think that Haaland is going to be part of the Sesko conversation. David Orston's confirmed, he is the striker that we want. We're already in formal talks. Now, and €75 million is apparently the price that they want, guaranteed plus add-ons, plus a slot clause. Don't be greedy or anything. I think we're going to include Handeland in the conversations. I don't think there'll probably be 2 separate deals for PSR perspective, but Hen started off this season well, this pre-season well. I didn't think it warrants the fact that Heschhold stay at the club past this summer. I think Manchester United should move him on. But if we were to loan him out, I think in an ideal world, Hidden Leaves joins Leipzig. Sesko comes in the other direction. He gets to restart his career. In the Bundesliga we move forward with Sesko, but well done to him for how he's playing so far in now, something that didn't happen in that game. But I think it's definitely something to keep an eye on. Were comments from both Ruben Amorim and Harry Maguire before the game. If you missed them, this is what they said, right? Ruben here saying, look, we're focused against West Ham. It was good, but I think we created chances sometimes too fast when we have the ball. He said that last season, and we talk about control. United played too much on the McDonesses, and this is what Harry said before the game as well. Just basically, it's obviously an instruction from Ruben Am, from Harry Maguire, to say this before the game. He thinks we've got to be a little bit more patient with our game on the ball. He thinks the last game we're good on the ball, but we forced it a little bit in the first half. We enabled the game to become a little bit like a basketball much too many transitions. So, be a bit more patient. Pick our times to play through the lines. And that's why I'm sort of isolating Casemiro here. And Bruno too. Both of these were part of this conversation against Bournemouth. Casemiro has this habit. I don't know whether he started doing it last season, or whether I just didn't notice it this first season, of just like whipping the ball without really looking where it's going. Just 30-40 yards up the pitch, and trying to curl it so some your neck and curve their run to get onto the end of it. It works to a certain degree, but that's not ultimately what Ruben he wants United to not just play through the lines, but just play it between each other until there you go. There's a perfect opportunity. Don't force the opportunities. You got 90 minutes in football. You don't have to score every second of the game. That's what he wants to see. And that's the control. That's the ultimate control that Ruben Amorim wants, that we just still there's far more control we've seen in these two games. But we are playing with her. We're kind of playing full tilt and it's working, by the way. But United still have to grow that sort of patient side of our game. That's something that Omar and Maguire both said before it. So the final point I want to speak about is, I mentioned it in my match reaction, but I really think it is an important point, and probably the biggest takeaway thought we should have from that Bournemouth game is that there was no Tony new signing in that game. Matascuna was. I suppose he was left out by Ruben Amorim, simply from a precautionary Ripiftic said. He had a little bit of fatigue after all the training sessions he's had and the two games that he's played in, and looked good in both by the. So, he's just managing his minutes. I suppose preseason is all about fitness. Let's just let you recover. And make sure you're 100% for the Everton game. I'm sure we'll see him. So, we get Kuna and Ibumo against Everton. But just imagine this, right? We play really well as a team. They're against Bournemouth. Deserved winners 4-1. Did lots of Delic to give him a little cheeky consolation as an on goal. Wasn't his fault. But add Kunento, that team. Add Mbuo into that team. And maybe, if United get their own way, add Sesko into that team. A team would look significantly better than anything saw last season. And that was the same squad that lost the Europa League final. Well, I suppose you could take Diego Leon out of that if you wanted to. That is probably the most impressive thing. That's what we're seeing, is a different looking United. Now, it's the early stages. But the main thing I wanted to see between the West Ham game and the Bournemouth was continuation. And we saw that with the first 11 that started, and even the second 11 as well. Add some new signings into that. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Build on it again. Florentina. Head into that Arsenal game with just 4 continuously impressive performances, and add some new signings into it. I'm liking what this preseason is so far. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe if you are new to Night People TV. If you can drop a like on the video. Should probably have asked before the end of it if you can make a difference. See you after the next game.